Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Vipps MobilePay morning webinar. My name is Joachim. I am Key Account Manager at Vipps MobilePay, and I'm really thrilled to be your host for today's webinar, whether you're tuning in from your office or home, or even maybe some of you are on your favorite cafe, who knows? We're really excited to have you join us for this engaging session, packed with insights, inspirations, and opportunity. I will just say, first of all, if you have any questions along the way, we have a chat where you can type in your questions and we will either answer them or we will take them if we have any time for the Q&A when we are done. Today we have set a fantastic lineup of speakers and topics to start your morning. I will start the show, and then we have Johannes Jakobsen, who is our product manager. We have Stefan Nibling, who is key account manager at Vipps MobilePay, and then we are really lucky to have André at Talkmore, who is head of performance management. So this is our agenda. I will go through some key numbers and present Vipps MobilePay, and then we will dive into the world of Vipps MobilePay Login with Johannes as product management. He will share the latest update and talk about how this solution can empower your business and customer journey. Then we will move over to Stefan, who will give us a behind-the-scene look at Kopp & Kann's journey and their experience with Vipps MobilePay Login in their business. And last, we will André will share Talkmore's experience with using our login product in Talkmore's call center. So, as you all know, a couple of years ago, MobilePay and Vipps joined forces. So we are now 12 million users, over 300,000 merchants, and we have over 1 billion transactions every year. So in Finland, we have 2.8 million active users. We have 150 million transactions and 40% of the business transaction in the country. We have 52,000 payment points in Finland and 5.8 billion euros transferred in 2024. And just to not 40% of all business transactions in Finland, but 40% of the transaction in Vipps MobilePay are business transactions. The key figures in Denmark are that we have 4.6 million active users. We have 314 million transactions, and 53% of the transactions are business transactions. And we are over 200,000 shops and web shops live with MobilePay. And 17.6 billion Danish kroners are transferred in 2024. So we are now a big company that spans through Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland. And on that note, I am pleased to welcome our first speaker. So please welcome Johannes Jakobsen. He will give us the update on Vipps Login.
Thank you so much. I'll just share my screen quickly and then we'll go. Let's see. Share. Awesome. Let's see. Sorry. There we go. Yes, thank you for the introduction, Joachim. As he said, my name is Johannes and I'm the product manager for MobilePay Login. And some of you might ask straight away, you're a payment company, we've seen all these great payment numbers. Why do you create a login service? I want to start with showing you a video of a experience I think most of us have had at least a couple of times. So I think this is a situation we've all been in, like a bad customer experience. And as a company, we work on fixing hassle in the day-to-day life of our users. And Vips also have the benefits of having really high quality end user data. And for you guys, that also means that if the onboarding or the registration process is bad, that often leads to low conversion rates and also bad data quality. So the end user problem usually becomes your problem as well. So login very quickly is a seamless sign up and login solution for online and in-store use, where we combine superior data quality with a trusted brand. And I think that is like the main things. But I can say this all day in a very corporate way, but I'd rather just show you. So I'll give you a demo. And the really cool thing about login is that it's the first time you, as especially MobilePay users, use it. It's a bit more cumbersome, but then it gets better. And it's also important to say that the most cumbersome flow that I'm going to show you first is still way better than most of what you'll meet out there. So we have this demo store. I'm just having to say sorry for having it being Vips branded, but it's because I'm Norwegian, but it will work in the same way for MobilePay users. So here you see the screen that you typically meet. You push the login button, and as you can see, there's an app switch to us. There's usually a Face ID there. And here I can choose to be remembered in the browser, meaning the next time I can skip this step-up process to the app. So I confirm, and I go back to the browser, and I can see as an end user what data points the merchant is asking for and what I want to share. So I continue, and then I'm logged in. But I can also log out. And the interesting thing about this solution is that we actually give the end users some control. I'll get back to that. Meaning I can actually remove consents to the companies I'm sharing my data with. That does not mean that you as a company have to delete the data. It only means that you'll lose some functionality on that customer in the future. But I'll get back to that as well. So I remove my consent to share that data. And now you can say that there's a flow where I've been. I have tried the MobilePay login in the same browser before, but not with this merchant. So I log in. Now, as you can see, there was no step up to the app, and I continue. And that was the second flow. And then there's the third flow. I've done all this before. I just logged in, and now I want to come back to that merchant, push login, and I'm in, and you have all the data you need. So that was like the quick demo that I wanted to show you guys. But I think it's really important to talk about the value you as a merchant get. And I think at the core of it, Login provides businesses with data quality from 10 million verified users. And we have name, address, email, phone, date of birth, and we also can provide national identity number for merchants, but that's more of a thorough application process. So it's not everyone that will get access to ask for that. And lastly, for those of you that has a loyalty program, we also can in this flow help you get the consent you need to communicate to your customers. So to quickly sum it up, it's really high quality data at registration. Like there's no comparison with the other ones out there. You can get updated customer data over time. As I said, if the end user has their consent living, that will mean that the next time they log in, if they've moved in the meantime or changed their mail address, you'll get the updated data. And it's, like I said, really important that you own the data so that the consent that they can remove within us is just about the updating of data, but you own that data. So if you change login provider or registration provider in the future, you're still the owner of the data that you have retrieved. And lastly, it is an awesome user experience, which gives higher conversion rates. And that again leads to happier customers. There's a second value proposition that is so important for us. That it's omnichannel out of the box, meaning It works just as well in digital channels as in physical channels. And if you have set up your systems in the correct way, you can register a customer in store and they can easily log into your website and the other way around. But I think it's important to talk about what the customers get, because data is nothing, that's something that we have to be really honest about. And I think that's what differentiates us also from the big international tech giants. The first value proposition, I think, is becoming more and more hygiene, but it's still very smooth. The fact that you never have to think about registering by manually filling out the form, and you don't have to create a username and a password and remember that at a later stage. And it's also very easy and very quick, and the brand is trusted. But what we see and where we think we're headed is to give our end users more transparency and control. So as I said, it's much more transparent. You always know what you as an end user share with the merchant. It is also easy to find what merchants you have shared data with. And not only that, you can also see what data points you have shared with who. And if you want, you can remove the consent so that the merchants don't have access to get that updated data on you. And I think we will build on that in the future. We have the data points right now, and we've been really focused on sort of the hard data points, but we are looking into adding more data points. So if some of you are interested or see immediately that there are some data points that you really would like to get in contact and we can discuss that as well. But who is this made for? Because we're a payment company, so certainly it has to be for payment companies, but not really. It is for any nice company that wants customer or user data. And I'm saying nicer because you still have to go through an application process, and we have to make sure that you're not a scammer, but most of you aren't, right? But it's also pretty much for all the merchants that has bad customer experience today when it comes to registering and logging in and identifying the customers. Like DSB, and not trying to throw too many companies under the bus here, but I went to Denmark and I had to buy a ticket, and I saw this registration process, and I was thinking, oh my God, these ones need MobilePay login. It's obvious. And also I checked out Stockman in Finland, which has this wall of information you have to fill out if you want to become a member of their loyalty program. Looking at these data points, I think we could solve that for Stockman with the end user having to do like 3 clicks, and that flow is reduced to a conversion booster instead of this one where I guess they have a lot of fall off. And so I wanted to show you some use cases, and I think the use cases online, it's fairly intuitive to think about what those use cases could be. But of course, you have the web shop and website use case, and it works both on desktop and on phone, of course. It's cross-platform. And like I said earlier, if you also have a physical store, you can combine these two solutions. Secondly, we can also be like this solution just to fill out forms. For example, on the left-hand side, you can see our MobilePay checkout. And I'm mentioning that because that is live in Finland, Denmark, and I hope that's relevant for you guys as well. And of course, we're integrated in a lot of apps in Norway, and we see that the preference for logging in and registering with Vips is usually around 80 to 90% of all users. So it's a really popular solution in Norway. And lastly, in a digital channel, we don't have this yet in MobilePay, but in Norway, in 2024, we launched a benefits tab, which makes it easy for end users to collect all their loyalty things in one place in our app. We have also created this functionality where you can, the merchants can register directly from the app. And so just look out for this because something in this will probably launch in Q1 or Q2 this year. But then we come to the in-store cases, which I think is like, that's where we see that the last year and year and a half that we have this real boost in interest in growth in login. And that is because that is usually not a digital context, but we can solve it, pain points in a digital way that is really boosting the customer experience. So we have this solution called Customer Club In-Store, where it's a combination of a couple of different MobilePay solutions. But we help merchants identify and register end users to loyalty programs. And that solves real pain points for merchants. And lastly, it makes it possible to give discounts to end users there and then, and you don't have to go through like a cumbersome process for the end user that has to find a physical loyalty card or basically go through like this complicated process. We also have these QR codes that you can print and you can hang up in plaster around the store or outside or on advertising, where you can get the end user to sign up through a QR code. Then you have a case which I also think is really interesting, which is self-service stores. And we see in Norway that a couple of merchants have started and partners have started integrating login into their solutions in a number of interesting ways. And so we see that that actually is a much easier way to facilitate self-service stores, and often it's a bit cheaper because usually that entails a lot of expensive hardware. But as you can see with this scenario, it's a outside facing screen and you do everything from there. That is a really smooth solution. I will not spend too much time on customer service centers. I think Andre will talk more about that later. But yeah, that's a really interesting area as well. And I thought I would just like at the end here, some of you might ask, how do you get this solution? And it's basically start at whichmobilepay.com. You can find more information, technical documentation, and you will be able to sign up if you're a new MobilePay customer from our portal. There's links from this page to that area. And if you already have a direct agreement for MobilePay payments, it's really easy to activate login in our portal. But when we say activate in our portal, we mean the sort of agreement. But you still will have to integrate or technically integrate the solution into your platform. And for most of you, that might be a partner that does that work. And if you're a partner, please contact us. We have really a lot of experience working with our partners, and we of course want more partners. If you're a technical person or a developer, you can check out our developer platform, where we have really great documentation on login. So hopefully you'll find everything you need. And we also see that for a lot of at least a bit smaller companies, but also some big ones, we have these plugins that you can activate in your platform, and we're live with WordPress and WooCommerce. And we're also live at Adobe Commerce. I'm just having the Magento logo there since they changed names. We're also working on login plugins for Shopify, Drupal, and Optimizely that will make it really easy for you to activate. So I just want to close down. Some of you are probably wondering, when will you launch this? And I have to say, we already did actually. So it's live, you can use it, and please be in contact if you need any help or you find this interesting. So that was everything from me.
Thank you so much, Johannes. So as Johannes said, if some of you are interested or are a potential partner or want to talk with us about this product, please contact your key account manager or contact us through vipsmobilepay.com. Our next presenter is Stefan. He is a key account manager in Vips MobilePay, and he will give us a behind-the-scenes look at Copenhagen's journey and their experience with using MobilePay Login in their business. Take it away, Stefan.
Thank you very much, Joachim. I hope everybody can see and hear me. First and foremost, I would like to say hello, of course, to everyone, and thank you for joining. And I hope you will not drop up the next 10-ish minutes when I will share a little customer case about one of our retail clients here in Denmark called Copenhagen. And for those of you who are Danish, you probably already know Copenhagen, but for some of our Finnish audience, I can say that it's a well-established Danish chain with around 90 stores selling kitchenware and home essentials. Today, I will walk you through how they successfully implemented the MobilePay Login to enhance their customer club experience. So without no further ado, let's dive in. So it all started in late fall of 2024, and Copenhagen took an important step towards improving their digital services by introducing a MobilePay Login on their webshop for a start. This decision came as they sought to provide their customers with a more user-friendly and efficient way to register and log in. In the beginning, particularly for their loyalty program called Club, Cop, and Canne. So say at the core of it, it was a goal to replace the often cumbersome or traditional registration process with a solution that could simplify the experience for the users. And MobilePay Login, as you heard before from Johannes, it offers an intuitive alternative that allows members to sign up or log in with just a few taps on their phone. There is no forms to fill out, and there is no password to remember. But this wasn't just for Copenhagen, at least, about convenience. They also wanted to reduce the drop-ups they have during the sign-off and sometimes also in the login process. And of course, also encourage even more customers to become members of their loyalty program. In addition, I would say the solution also aligns with a broader strategy they have on enhancing, first and foremost, their digital engagement and providing a seamless experience across all touchpoints. So this marked a beginning of something bigger, a digital transformation that should make it easier for customers to connect with the brand. So first and foremost, some of you know, some of you don't, but Copenhagen actually is quite a big success already. They have an impressive 500,000 members of the loyalty club at the moment. And, this is quite impressive, but it is also at this scale, making it a little bit difficult to manage. And there are some challenges, not only for Copenhagen, but for all customer clubs, especially of this size. So I will today walk you through a couple of the key pain points they faced. And next slide, I will go into, of course, how the outcome was. First and foremost, you heard it before, there was a cumbersome sign-up process. The registration process required customers to accept terms and conditions after signing up. So it created delays and unnecessarily friction. And it also meant that some didn't actually complete it, and there was a lot of incomplete profiles. But it was not only for new members, but also some friction for existing members, what we call here login friction. And that caused some dissatisfaction and also drop-offs. The issues was also, you could say, internal, because they had data issues with incomplete profiles and not updated profiles. And you can say when you have such a large membership base, maintaining accurate records is a challenge, I mean, for everyone. So there was a lot of duplicate, there was a lot of incomplete profiles, and it made it difficult to have targeted campaigns, and also the relationship management with the customer base was not optimized. Another thing was an inconsistent experience. So customers wouldn't see the same experience in store as they would see online, which also can lead to confusion and dissatisfaction. The last thing is quite probably a little bit tough of me to say, but a poor user experience. I would say that it wasn't that the user experience was poor compared to so many other customer clubs. It was probably best in class what was possible at the moment. But now there is a new standard with MobilePay Login, and you can see the heart of the issues with many customer clubs log in and sign up is the lack of simplicity. So customers, they want a smooth, fast, and intuitive way to connect with any customer club. So that is what we set out to help them with. So those challenges was, not only operation for the customers, but also operational efficiency, because a lot of the data was, as said, not up to date. So Copenhagen, they recognized that there was some issues, and they wanted to leverage MobilePay's familiarity and ease of use and strong reputation here in Denmark. So in short, to sum it up, I would say that Copenhagen saw MobilePay Login as an opportunity to elevate the customer club and provide a smoother and more enjoyable experience. So at the end of the day, it's of course been not that long they had it, but they already seen some quite good and tangible results. Number one, they saw the improved customer experience, which of course is essential for any club. So they didn't really replace the old one, but they added MobilePay as an extra option. And this created a more seamless and user-friendly way for customers to register and log in. So as we said before, all happens with a few taps on your phones. There is no additional step, there is no emails, there is no SMS or anything else you have to fill out. And the same goes for the consent. And all of you who have a customer club, you know how terms and conditions are quite important. And from now, everything is in a smooth single transaction. Another thing they liked in-house at Copenhagen was the enhanced data quality. That was one of the biggest operational wins. There was the elimination of all these duplicate and incomplete customer profiles. So the MobilePay helped to ensure that the data was accurate and consolidated, making it a lot easier to make targeted campaigns and interact with this customer base. Lastly, but not least, another very important thing, of course, is the feedback. And overall, it's been overwhelmingly positive, and not only, from the younger customer base, but also actually from the older customer base, a segment that sometimes is believed to be less tech savvy, but up to the years of 80 years old, everyone actually took very well to the new solution. And many liked to use the new solution compared to the existing email-based solution. But as you can see in the bottom, Copenhagen is not stopping here. The next step they are planning is in-store rollout of MobilePay Login. And you can say this is going to be a game changer, because it's going to ensure a consistent and smooth experience for all of their customers. So whether they prefer to shop online or in store, it will be easy and consistent, and everything will happen with just a few taps on the phone. And this is a bigger part of the journey that Copenhagen is on, and it will make sure that they have a truly omnichannel journey for their customer club moving forward. Lastly, but not least, of course, I am very happy that Covered Candy actually couldn't be here today, but they made me this one, and I'm being in close contact with them before, under, and after when we evaluated. And you can, of course, you can read it on screen here. I just want to highlight, of course, the positive feedback from the members, but also another thing is the in-house customer service team. They've been very thrilled to, when customers called in with issues with the old registration form, say to them, just use MobilePay Login. And with that, I will thank you for your time. And like everybody else, I will be at the end. I will be here to answer any questions. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Stefan. Really nice customer story, and it's really nice to see that the solution really helps the customers that we have. Following that, we have André, Head of Performance Management at Talkmore, and he will share Talkmore's experience with using our login product at Talkmore's call center. So please, André, take it away.
Thank you, Joachim. Let me just share my screen real quick here. So hello everyone, my name is André Odinsen. I work as Head of Performance Management at Talkmore Customer Service, and I'm going to tell you about when we implemented Vipps login into our contact center. First, a few quick facts about Talkmore. We are Telenor's low-price telco brand in Norway. We have about 200 employees, and we're located at Hasle in Oslo. But the fact that might be of most interest to you is that we implemented Vipps login into our contact center in June of 2024 as the first telco operator in Norway. And today we're 2 telcos with Vipps login in our contact center that I know of. And that is Talkmore and our parent company Telenor, who immediately wanted this solution when they saw how we had implemented Vipps login at Talkmore. It took us very little effort to implement Vipps login. One of my coworkers in IT spent half a day setting up an internal API for logging purposes, and then I spent half a day implementing Vipps login into our contact center. And after testing the solution for one additional day, we went live with it, and we've kept it live ever since. Before I talk a little bit about the effect that Vipps login has had at the Talkmore customer service, I want to show you how the solution works when a customer calls us. So in the demo you're about to see, a customer has called Talkmore, and they've already made a couple of choices in our IVR voice menu. We're almost ready to send a call to a customer service agent, but before we do that, we ask the customer to identify themselves. And here is what that looks and sounds like.
For security purposes, we would like to identify you using the Vipps mobile app. Press the pound key to use the number you're calling from for identification, or enter the mobile number you wish to use. If you'd like to skip the identification process, please hold. We have sent you an identification request in the Vipps mobile app. Please open the Vipps app on your phone and identify yourself. Meanwhile, we will keep the line open and wait.
So when the customer has identified themselves, the call is then routed to a customer service agent, along with the information we receive about the caller from Vipps. And we then use this information to check if the caller is the account owner. And today, between 55 and 60% of all the customers we speak to on the phone choose to identify themselves with Vipps. And this number has been steadily increasing from around 35% in the beginning. And on average, we save 19 seconds per Vipps identified call compared to calls where the customer has not identified themselves. And on chat, between 90 and 95% of all customers that we chat with have chosen to identify themselves with Vipps. And on average, we save 2 minutes per Vipps identified chat compared to chats where the customer has not chosen to identify themselves. So as you can imagine, we are saving a lot of time with the Vipps login, in addition to the fact that Vipps login is more secure than our old identification methods. So what are the customers saying? We've not seen any negative feedback on the Vipps login solution at all. The only customer feedback we have seen specifically on Vipps login is that the solution is safe and easy. And other than that, we are just seeing a lot of general feedback that Talkmore customer service is very efficient. In fact, we're the highest rated telco operator on bit.no, and you can check bit.no for yourselves to see that a lot of customers say that they like our efficient customer service. And that is what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andre. And on that note, I will take a look and see if we have any questions. Let's see here. I think I lost my screen. Johannes, can you help me to see if we have any questions that we have not answered?
Yes, sure. I think some of these questions could be interesting to just answer in with everyone. Because there's been actually a couple of questions also just sent directly to me about combining subscriptions with login. And we actually have a couple of different ways to solve that. I've shared some documentation on a combination of login as its own API solution and subscription. We have this recurring API to create a really great user experience. We also have a functionality called share user info, which basically means that you integrate some of the login functionality in a payment flow, which is also really great. So there, I think you can check out some of the documentation I shared in the chat if that's interesting to you. Let's see. I can see that Anders asked what is the MobilePay penetration percentage in the Danish market. Not totally sure what you asked for, but we have at least more than 4.5 million users in Denmark. I think 4.6 and more than that. So I would say basically everyone over the age of 15 in Denmark is currently using MobilePay or have a MobilePay user. And let's see, I can see. In Denmark, we use MitID as a digital identification method. Is it possible to sign up to MobilePay without MitID? And in the onboarding process for MobilePay, I think right now you have to use MobilePay MitID to sign up. And that is for us to verify the data that you've added. And it is important to say that, like, compared to MitID, that is like a legal standard of a security level. And we're not, like, MobilePay is not like competing on security. We're an alternative to signing up and filling out manual forms usually. So we're about creating great user experience, but if you're in a business that's regulated by law and that says anything specifically about security levels, then I would look into the national identification scheme instead, if so. And lastly, is it possible to see a demo of how customers can sign up for recurring payment, upfront payment, when the sale is through telephone sale? I don't think we have a video of that currently, but you basically can. I think in our documentation you can search for share user info, and you'll probably find some pictures or drawings there for the flow. Is there anyone else that's burning with some questions? feel free to ask. If not, we're gonna close this webinar down, I think.
Perfect. So you now have a couple of seconds before we close down the webinar. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for everyone that attended our webinar. If you have any questions afterwards or want to look more into MobilePay Login at your shop, please contact your contact person in MobilePay or your partner contact in MobilePay, or reach out to us through vipsmobilepay.com. And thank you again, and see you another.